Let's get it. This is Eternal Underground Production.
Support Reach.
I know what it is, man. We now tuned in to the Hodge Podge Sports Show. Picks on target sharper than the game. With a place to bet, let's check with Patrick and Sean first. Unless your aim is that, I'll advise. Check the source right here. We got you covered, don't waste your time. Ain't no need to straddle the fence. Now you can take it out competition where you think the gazelle could find. If you in opposition, just listen. It'll change your mind. This is where you catch him right here. Never go bang like Ray Lewis at the quarterback. Out open forms, you got a topic, or will address it. God, don't come on here talking, you don't know nothing. No hesitation, get put in your place. And the discussion. No shit over here, keep it 100. Question, we gon' come with the answer like ours. Yeah, if you ain't know then, you know now just what time it is. Sean, reppin' the city abruptly. Super Bowl, 50 yards, Baltimore in the building. Make some noise for his pack. Got Charm City on his back, putting on for the Cal Ripken Jr. back with the Orioles. And he's 4 rebounded down students. Knowledge from these common students. Followers, without you, this impossible. Rock with us, we rock with you. I love us, I love you. Follow the fan base and follow the fan base. It's deeper than sports talk. It's something like family. Ever and be more. You and Philly say, let's express the shit. Now running to the sports fanatics that you know online. Tune in every weekend when we go live. When we go live.
Let's get it.
Yeah. I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time. Let's get it.
Come on.
Get it. You're tuned in.
Yeah. Bring your home time.
The sports bring passion, ain't just to let it out. The right here on HPS, where we never stop.
That's right. Where we never stop. NBA free agency, NFL free agency. Sean and Patrick talking mad shit tonight, boy. It's going to be on like hot butter. Woo-wee! This is the Hodge Podge Sports Show, sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, Arena Eats, the ultimate fan experience, sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app, order, express pickup, and instant delivery. How do you place your order? He is James from Philadelphia, Hodge, Baltimore, Maryland, and this is the Hodge Podge Sports Show. What's up, partner?
Come on, man! It's the greatest time of the year, right? Greatest time of the year right now, where we get all four sports moving in motion and right. We got the NBA, NBA trade deadline and the buyout period. We got the NFL trades and draft coming up. We got MLB starting next week, and we're in the middle of the hockey season and the NBA season. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this right now, right? It's the best time. It's the best time of the year to be a sports fan.
Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about, boy. Listen, get in where you fit. You know we're starting off with that NBA deadline. Then we got to talk about the NFL free agency. We got to talk about the trades that went down yesterday. We got to get back into the MVP conversation in the NBA as well. So we want to hear from y'all. 712-770-4160. 10 is 576-041. You can check us out on our YouTube channel, Hodge Podge Sports. Check us out through the group, Hodge Podge Sports, NGSC Sports Facebook group, and then my personal Facebook page as well. So let's get it, man. You know what I mean? Let's get it going. I can't wait because I got a lot of things to say and I got a lot of questions to ask. And I think that we can be upsetting some folks. And I absolutely cannot wait to get into it. So without further ado, go ahead and put that first topic up on the screen. There it is. NBA free agents.
You might want to change that to NBA trade.
You know, you work. Yeah, I could do that. NBA buyout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to update that. You're right. It is the trade deadline. I got a little excited about myself there. But, you know, the funny thing about it is that, you know, I was off and you were working. I was hitting you up. And you were getting back to me as best as you could. We were talking about this as it was going down. And you and I both came away, which kind of, have you noticed something? You noticed that we agree on the NBA? You've noticed that, but we agree a lot on the NBA. I mean, we have a little different spin on things, like when as far as the MVP conversation, but we're pretty much lockstep. But and I only say that because we disagree a lot, but we disagree on the opposite ends, and we respect the reason why we disagree. Like, we never have a full out ball like, oh nah, you're full of shit, or no, you're full of shit. It's like, no, I see it this way, you see it this way. But I've noticed though, when it comes to the NBA, that we agree a lot. And that's kind of funny to me. Funny in an ironic way, because as much as we talk offline, we don't always see eye to eye on things. But when it comes to the NBA, we're kind of like, yup. Like, you can say something, and I'll ask you a question. You'll be like, yeah, and then you'll say something, or I'll say something, you'll say something back to me, and be like, yeah, kind of see it that way. Speaking of which, right? Not to toot our own horns, but to toot our own horns. We joined the fantasy basketball league this year. And that conversation was comical. Hey man, I don't watch a lot of the NBA. That's your thing. You wanna co-own this team. Yeah, Patrick, I get in there, but I can't mess with the lineup day to day. It's like, no problem I got. Well, don't you know these cats is number 1 in their division, number 2 seed heading into the playoffs, and these jokers want to mess around and start crying because we're doing things. I'm gonna say this to y'all right now. I don't know who don't really give a shit who's watching from that league. Do not let Hodge Podge win this league. I'm telling you right now, we're in Ed Batiste league. Do not do whatever you got to do to stop us from winning, because y'all's crying about the trade that we was trying to make. It's cool. We got injuries right now, but we still gonna lock into the number 2, number 3 seed in there. Boy, don't let Larry come back, and don't let Embiid come back. It's curtains. It's all. But listen, I'm telling you right that when we win league, the shit that I'm going to say, and the amount and the length that I'm going to say, that's right. It's going to be unbearable. I am going to go in the End of Zone Sports page. I'm gonna blow that joint up. I might even have to order our own championship belts when we win this joint. And I'm gonna tell you, because what they did to us yesterday, just does not sit well. I was working. The point is this: you said to me, "We can do this." I can't help you manage the day-to-day roster, and you have though. You have more than what you know. I'll be like, "Yo, dude, I'm gonna make this move. What you think?" You be like, "Yeah, do it." And I set the line up. I take care of all that, and we do what we got to do. And then I've been working this trade since the beginning of the league. And the guy hasn't participated, and he finally got him to participate, and he agreed to the trade. And then they vetoed the trade, talking about there was eyes on it's too close to the playoffs. And I told him, I said, listen, we've been running this team week to week, day to day. I didn't even know playoffs was coming up. I said, but the conversation would have been nice if you had instead of just be trade, especially when you made the trade. But it's cool. So all I'm gonna say is this: I'm being petty right now, and when we win this shit, Petty Patrick is coming out. He's coming out hard. He's coming out hard. Matter of fact, Sean, to be honest with you, we don't even gotta win. I'm still coming out. But I'm just giving them a warning when we take it. Oh Lord, have some mercy. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest, man. It was bothering me. The small stuff. This is why we get along so well, because that stuff bothers the crap out of me. And you always sit back.
What you hold on, stop. No. I will throw up my phone and show everybody right now. First off, y'all can see that nice ass Benny Simmons Fresh Prince background I got. Y'all like that. I will show everybody the messages. You can sip that all you want. I was the one that was pissed off. You're like, no, it's fine. I ain't even that mad about it. And I was like, no, that's some bullshit. Like, come on now, tell the truth. I was the mad one. You were like, it's whatever. I don't really care. I'm sitting there saying, bro, hold on. I'm gonna fucking read it. I'm gonna read it. Wait, why? Only one veto and it doesn't go through? He claims eyebrows are raised. Bro, what the fuck did you tell him eyebrows were raised? Bro, this is me. Oh, yeah. And then you just going, well, I'm not even that mad about it. Hold on. Where did you say that? Hold on. I'm over it, but man, I really want to win this shit now. Who was the mad one here and who didn't care? I was the one trying to tell you to get on him for it. And nah, you said, nah, we gonna let it slide. We gonna let it slide. And I said, no, no. That don't make no sense. None. How's he gonna make a trade with the same dude we were making a trade with? And that's okay. Nobody said a thing.
So this is what happened. This is what happened, right? Real talk. This is what happened. I was hot, and then it took a little while to get one. And by the time we started conversing about it, I had come down some. So by the time you got it, I was like, yeah, he's carrying that torch for me. So I'm like, I didn't say my piece. See, what happened was I got to say my piece to the guy, and ended up, he ended up coming back and circling back to me and owned up to it, and it was cool. So I was kind of like, by the time we was done, I was like, all right, you know what, it is what it is. Like I told you, now I really want to win it, because before we were in it, we were participating, we were doing our thing, we like our roster, we tinker here and there, and then next thing you know, it's like, yo, we're off and running, you know what I mean? Then it's luck what happened, schedule got us a couple of times, right? Like we ran into some teams that have full.
I mean, not
we only had 2 or 3 players going.
Yeah, I mean, not having
like that's the thing about it. Yeah, hey, like you can't catch like if you get behind, you get up. It's like you got to get one day when they got like a lineup of 2 or 3, but now our 2 money train beat and Curry out of it. So we're taking a hit. But anyway, I digress. So let's get into it, right? I'm gonna circle back to the NBA trade deadline. I promise, but I want to get into the buyout part, right? Okay. Because, and I want to talk about one team in particular, and I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. And the reason why I'm tired of hearing about it is because everybody has been crowning the Brooklyn Nets the team to beat ever since KD, right? Then it was over the top when they got Harden. Like, they're just discounting everyone. You know what I mean? It was just like, doesn't matter what comes they were coming from. Forget that Milwaukee, Miami, was the top, and Toronto was just 2 years removed from winning the championship, right? So forget Philly, forget Boston, right? It's all about Brooklyn, right? And people in the group are touting them this, you know what I mean? So what they do, they go out and they assemble a big 3, right? They colluded to get together, but nobody wants to talk about that, right? Nobody wants to talk about how they orchestrated the big 3. But yet we always hear about how LeBron is ring chasing or building his team and things like that. But nobody wants to talk about the Brooklyn, right? Now they signed broke down Blake Griffin. Now they signed LaMarcus Aldridge, right? And now all of a sudden they're the team to beat even more. Last time I checked, they were not the number 1 seed in the East. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Who is? I can't remember. Who's the number 1 seed in the East? I'm sorry. The best record, not the best record in the league. No, not the best record in the East. Who's got the best record in the NBA without the MVP? I'm just asking because I'm not sure who has the best record in the NBA without the MVP of the league. I'm just asking, and I'm right there with you, man. I am tired of and here's the thing too is I don't even defend it anymore because I don't care. Like if these Brooklyn cats, if these newly found Brooklyn Nets fans, because let's be real, a Brooklyn Nets fan is nothing more than a New York Knicks fan that's made their team ain't good. So let's be real about that real quick because Brooklyn ain't have a team until about 10 years ago. So let's be real about that right quick before I proceed. Right. These Brooklyn Nets cats that I want to sit here and tell me that you getting 2 dinosaurs makes you better, right? How is LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin going to make your team better when they're both 99 years old? Blake Griffin dunked for the first time in 2 years when he came to Brooklyn. Yeah, he's got a lot of juice left in that tank, doesn't he? I'm tired of it. Okay, it seems like Philadelphia, no matter how well they play, they will constantly be overlooked. It doesn't matter. No matter how well they play, they will be overlooked. Milwaukee's on a 9-game win, or 8 or 9 game win streak right now. beating some of the top team in the leagues, including the Philadelphia 76ers. They're getting completely overlooked right now. And I ain't going to give you Boston. Boston sucks. Right. Boston's an absolute garbage fire. All right? That team needs to be thrown in the toilet and reset completely. They need a new coach. They need a lot. That coach needs to go, though, first because he has destroyed that team. I don't know what the hell, how you going to come off of going to Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, and then you turn in this year. But that team needs to be completely rebuilt from start to finish. And they need to build around Jaylen Brown. I've said that so many times before, not Jason Tatum. But that's a different story, different day. But I'm right there. I'm right there with you, man. I'm tired of this Brooklyn Net love. This fake Brooklyn Net love.
That's my point. Like, I'm not saying they're not a good team because that would just be irresponsible on my part to say they're not a good, right? But the point I'm trying to make is like, let's not just around them, right? What have they done? So the only person that's proven on that team is Kevin Durant. Don't tell me Kyrie Irving is proven because he's not. He hit one big shot. It's still LeBron James' team. He got a championship. We know what James Harden does in the playoffs. He folds up like a lawn chair. I've told you that for years and years and years. And again, it comes down to this. Steve Nash, is he a championship caliber coach, right? It's always the thing I always said about Mike D'Antoni. Remember, I was like, yeah, Houston's got a good team, but that coach is not championship level coach. Yep. The last time I checked, he's on the Brooklyn Nets staff, right? So listen, anything can happen when you get in when you get into this. But people always want to say that. Let me just finish it, right? Because this is where it's going to get interesting, and this is where I think I really agree and kind of talk about this, right? Everybody always wants to say that you can't contain Brooklyn. No, is this Brooklyn does not have a guy on their team that Ben Simmons. Now, what I'm saying there, I didn't say shut down. I didn't say stop. I'm saying they don't have a player on their team that he cannot guard, and there is not a player on the Brooklyn Nets that Joel Embiid cannot drop 40 on. So. This is a big deal, right? You going to talk about what it's going to be come that matchup. I don't fear the Brooklyn Nets, right? And you ask me, everybody says that Brooklyn, and I say everybody. I'm talking about your analysts and all that. Philly's the closest team to them. Well, who's Philly is what I want to know, because that's what I want to know. I don't want to know who we think the closest team to Brooklyn is. Who's the closest team to Philly? The team I really don't want to match up with the Bucks, right?
I agree.
Like, that's the matchup that scares me, just because Giannis can do what Joel can do, and Giannis can do defensively what Ben can do to a point, right? Giannis can guard too, right? And then you got Chris Middleton. Listen, the Bucks are no scrubs by no means, right? Like, and Miami, I'm just not sold on Miami. I think Miami just got lightning in the bottle last year bubble, and they play better than everybody else. But now they made some moves to get better at this trade deadline. But I'm not really sure how Oladipo helps them or gets them over the top. I like the move of George Hill that Philly made, right? That gives them that backup point guard that they need. I really wish they would have got another shooter, because I would have liked to have seen Seth Curry come off the bench with George Hill in that second unit. I think that would make
JJ Redick's a free agent now. Or no, he got traded to Dallas. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to get bought out, but I think he had his sights on coming back to Philly or Brooklyn. Listen, all these players want to load up and they want to ring chase and they want to go to Brooklyn. Good for them, right? But it is what it is, right? But and I said to you, right? I swear I'm going to give you the mic. I swear, I keep saying this to you, but I promise I'm going to turn it over. And I said this to you only because. I said to you, yeah, I like the George Hill move. I would have liked to have gone a little bit bigger. We still need another big man. And I asked you who was out there. And I said to you, I would have liked Aldridge because I think he would have fit in well. And I said, there's really not many bigs out there that you can go get to replace. So with that being said, I'll give it to you and let's just talk about the landscape. We go to the East and then we'll hop over to the West.
All right. So I want to real quick I'm going to basically follow your trail there of everything you talked about. I'm going to start when you said the only proven guy there is KD. The only proven guy there is KD, but then you discredited Kyrie. But I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to discredit KD as well, and I'm going to discredit Kyrie because KD is not winning a single championship if he doesn't go ring chasing Golden State. Let's clear that up real quick. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like KD is some proven winner when he has never led a team himself. Let's be real. We've now found out that the real leader of OKC was Russell Westbrook. We've learned this over the years, that KD has never been able to lead a team. That was my biggest flaw with this team, with this Brooklyn Nets team, is who's going to lead them, right? You need a leader, right? Every team needs a leader. And Kevin Durant has proven that he can play well in the regular season, but comes up short in big games in the playoffs when he's not surrounded by superstar talent like a Klay Thompson, a Steph Curry, and a Draymond Green. So if you want to sit here and you want to say that Kyrie Irving has never proven himself, then I'm going to say the same thing about Kevin Durant. He's never proven himself either then, because Kevin Durant has did the same thing that Kyrie Irving did, just the opposite. Instead of Kyrie Irving leaving, LeBron James came to him. KD left OKC because he got beat down 3-1 after being up 3-1 to Golden State, went to them to win 2 titles. All right? So that's the way I'm going to play it there. Secondly, you made a very interesting point there about Ben Simmons, saying that Ben Simmons can guard anybody on the Brooklyn Nets, right? I'm going to one-up you here. And I don't mean to do it, but I just got to do it. So can Matisse Thybulle.
You got to do what you got to do.
Matisse Thybulle can guard anybody on the Brooklyn Nets as well, outside of maybe Kevin Durant. So you're going to sit here and tell me that I'm going to have now people are going to sit here and they're going to sleep on Danny Green too. Go ahead. I said it to a buddy I worked with the other day. The Sixers are on a very, very good possibility where they can have 4 players on this team on an all-NBA defensive team this year. That is Danny Green, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Matisse Thybulle all have a chance to make an all-NBA team this year. I think 2 of them are an absolute lock, and that is Matisse Thybulle and Ben Simmons are locked to make an all-defensive team this year. I think Joel Embiid is on the cusp of making one, and I think Danny Green is also very possible to make one. So I don't want to sit here and tell me that we can't match up. I want you to tell me, all these people that say Brooklyn are the clear favorites, I want you to tell me, because the Sixers are the best perimeter defense team in the entire NBA. There's stats to back up what I'm saying. Go look them up. The Sixers are the best perimeter defensive team in the NBA. We haven't been able to say that about the Sixers in 5 years. Minimal. We haven't been able to say the Sixers are a good perimeter defensive team the entire Brett Brown era. All right? Let's be clear there. DeAndre Jordan isn't stopping Joel Embiid. Okay? Joel Embiid's dropping 40 on him. If they want to put Slim Reaper on him, go ahead. He's going to drop 50 on him. Let's move over, because you said something now. You said you don't like the Bucks matchup. Why not? The Sixers almost beat the Bucks without Joel Embiid. They lost to him by 1 point. Joel's in that game. They win by 20. Period. The end. Nobody in the East scares me, okay? Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say the Bucks scare me. I can't do it. I physically can't sit here and say the Bucks scare me, because they don't. The Bucks have never been better. The entire time in the Bucks career, and I'm sure, Daisy May, whatever your real name is, you're a Bucks fan, and I don't really give a shit. There ain't no real there has never been a time since Joel Embiid has entered the league where the Bucks have been better than the Sixers. Period. The end. The Bucks are a team. The Bucks are the Dan Marino Miami Dolphins of the NBA. They're going to be great in the regular season, but they're best known for choking in the playoffs. Let's be real here for a minute. Giannis doesn't have another gear. He doesn't know how to play playoff basketball. Joel Embiid's averaging 30-plus a game in the playoffs. Period. The end. He doesn't get stopped for 18. All right? He don't know what that number looks like in the playoffs. Let's be real. Records and stats say differently. Go look them up go look up the head-to-head when Joel Embiid plays, and then come back and talk to me. Joel Embiid has made a living beating up on Giannis. Okay, so before you want to sit here and say I agree with you when you say the Bucks and the Sixers are the best 2 teams in the East right now, but it goes Sixers then the Bucks. You're right. Records say different. You're absolutely right. Records say different. Sixers are 1, Bucks are 3. And I'm still giving the Bucks love. an MVP is available. Again, Dan Marino of the NBA. You can, again, our number's scrolling right below. I'm not going to read what you have to say. 712-770-4160. Pin is 576041. Hit that pound. Come on in. I'm not like y'all. Let's like no. I won't keep going here since y'all got me mad now. Let's start. Let's go last year. Let's go last year. Y'all lost to the number 5 seed Miami Heat. Couldn't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go the year before that. Y'all lost to Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals. Y'all didn't just lose to Toronto. Y'all got your ass kicked by Toronto, just like you got your ass kicked by Miami. Do you want to go 3 years ago when y'all lost to not Boston? Who was it 3 years ago? Somebody got to refresh my memory here. Oh, was that the Cleveland Cavaliers? Was that when Bron was still there? Just saying. I don't even think you guys made the Eastern Conference Finals that year. I think you didn't because Boston beat y'all. Was it Boston that beat you? Yeah, it had to be Boston that beat you because Cleveland played Toronto. Doesn't matter. Y'all lost and weren't in the Eastern Conference Finals that year either because it was Boston versus Cleveland. So please, again, before you want to sit there and throw regular season awards at me, know the facts. The facts is, if you're going to sit here and claim that Giannis is a great player, right? Then James Harden's better than him. And you can, do you want to sit here and go stat for stat with me? We can do it. James Harden's going to have a triple-double season. He's probably going to get a second MVP this year. So let's be real about the situation before you want to come in here. Where has Philly been all those years you were just talking about? What is? Oh my God! Has Philly matched up with Milwaukee in the playoffs in the last 3 years? Anybody want to? They have not, right? They have not had a chance to play Milwaukee in the playoffs, right? But I mean, you're right. Like this is how is that Philly's fault? How is that Philly's fault, right? Like these are me. I'm just asking questions, right? So, like I said, if you want to sit here and tout Milwaukee, and you want to claim Milwaukee's the best team,
right? Yeah.
You're not going to sit here and claim Milwaukee's the best team in the East without looking at what they've accomplished. Who has played longer? I think if you go back and look at it, they probably played just about the same. If you want to be real about it, they probably played just about the same. Let's be real. If you want to be honest about it.
What does that have to do with anything, though?
I don't know, because the last I checked no. Here's my thing: is like
into the equation.
But here's my other thing though too. Is the other thing I don't understand is like you're sitting here touting Giannis, which is fine. I think Giannis is a great player, but you're not going to you're not going to sit here and tell me that Giannis isn't the biggest choke artist in the playoffs. You're not going to come at me with that, right? That would be like me saying teams don't know how to defend Ben Simmons in the playoffs, right? I'd be lying. Don't lie, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's all false truths, right? Like, let's be real about the situation. The Bucks have come up short every single year in the playoffs for the last 3 years. They should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals every year, or they should have been in the finals every time the last 3 years. Giannis has sucked in the playoffs. That's my point. That's why I'm calling him the Dan Marino of the NBA. Until he gets over that hump, I don't want to hear that the Bucks are better than the Sixers. The Sixers are younger than the Bucks. The Sixers have more upside than the Bucks right now. You guys have Giannis and Middleton, and that is great. That's a great place to start. Okay? That's a great place to start. But I would argue that the Sixers core, MVPs don't suck in the playoffs. Thank you. Oh, that was you that typed that. I thank you. He can't shoot and he can't get past the wall because of it. I think Drew Addition is underrated. It's funny because Drew Holiday was one of my favorite Sixers of all time, but Drew's not shooting 20 times a game in the playoffs. The entire Milwaukee offense is based off of Giannis driving to the basket. I watched Giannis play the Sixers last week and airball 3 threes in a row. Not even threes. He airballed 3 shots in a row. I only think one of them was a 3. Giannis can't shoot for shit. At least when Ben shoots, it hits the rim. So I mean, like, it's like Hodge said, MVPs don't show up, don't suck in the playoffs. Period. The end. And he can have all the regular season accolades he wants, but at the end of the day, he's going to go down as a great regular season player. And you want to know who else was a great regular season player? Come on, everybody, say the name with me. I said it 5 times already. Dan Marino. All right, it's plain and simple. If you want to be Dan Marino, that's cool. You're going to get in the Hall of Fame. You're going to have a whole lot of regular season stats. Once those playoffs come around, get used to sucking. But that's the thing, though. You're not going to sit here and tell me that the Bucks are underrated, or the Bucks are the best team in the East because of Giannis, who won an MVP, and then say Harden, and then say that the Nets aren't the best team in the league because he's got an MVP. KD's got 2 MVPs. So off of that logic, if we're just going off MVPs, then the Nets are the best team in the NBA, right? Because they have 3 MVPs on one team, right? And I don't think Joker gets MVP. I disagree with that. I think Harden's going to get it.
Yeah, as you're kicking knowledge, do you have the stat or do you know the number? But the record with Philadelphia starting 5 on the floor.
I believe they're undefeated.
Nah, they're not undefeated. They lost once. I know that for sure. I know they lost at least once.
I think they might have only lost to Utah? Hold on. I'm going to look it up for you, buddy.
Speed didn't play the first game in Utah. Remember?
And they won the second game in Utah.
I think they lost. To like Cleveland or somewhere like that.
I think you're right.
It was like that stretch. Remember, they beat Indiana, they beat Dallas, they beat Chicago, and I think Cleveland came in and beat them. I think
no. I think it was to Brooklyn.
2 games with their
I think it was to Brooklyn right after they traded Karis LeVert. They lost to Brooklyn the first time they played them. Yes, they did. They lost to Brooklyn the first time they played them.
Then we didn't have our 5 for that. I don't think Ben played that game. I don't think Ben Brooklyn. Joel played in Brooklyn. That was when
they all played in Brooklyn. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm pretty sure that's the game they lost. They haven't lost many.
They didn't. It was only like see, it's Cleveland. Yeah, lost the second when he went off. I'm telling you, I think it was Cleveland that beat him. It was the home game in Cleveland. I think that was the first time they lost. Well, so the point I'm trying as we get this, because I'm starting to get a little hungry. So Hodge Podge Sports Show is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website Arena app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. Pre-order, express pickup, and instant delivery. How do you place your order? The point that I'm trying to make is because your newfound Brooklyn Nets fans will tell you that they think they're the best team because they haven't played a lot of games together, as a 3, right? They haven't gotten there together yet. But that's the reason why I said, because I'm going to combat that argument with what is the Sixers record when their 5 is on the floor. Even better, what's their like they're playing so well right now without Joe. It's just ridiculous. Like how well they're playing. And, tonight's a big game for them. But here's the thing. It's the NBA, right? And this game really, I think it means more than the Clippers. And the Sixers are just having fun. And what I was about to say, you brought up a good point. That's because you'll remember this about how excited I was that we got Danny Green. Mm-hmm. And I told you that's why I said it might be a year or 2 late. You're getting a little older, but I said he's going to be such a difference maker when you least expect it, right? Now, I think he's finally comfortable. He's finding that stroke. I mean, he's even putting people on highlights with his drives to the hoop, which is even funnier, right? But the D that he plays sometimes looks a little slow, but he's just so damn smart. And I think there's also too, and then we'll move over to the West because I really don't think we're getting anywhere else besides the NBA tonight. I told you that might happen. We can't underestimate the impact that Doc Rivers had on it. And you and I discussed this at length. We discussed it last year when he got fired, and about was he a good coach? Was he not a good coach? We were on different ends of the spectrum. But the thing that we agreed on is that we thought he was going to be good for Philly. We didn't know how good or how quick. But I think that is to me is the accountability factor, right? We've seen him get in this team's ass, right? You hear him getting in their ass. Like when they're on TV or whatever, he's not holding back. You can hear what's being said in the huddle, and you can see what it is. And these guys really enjoy playing together. They like playing with one another, and there's something to be said about that as well. I'm really looking forward to George Hill being able to come over. I didn't realize that he was close friends with Danny Green, so that was a nice article to read. I didn't realize they were that tight.
They played
about how George Hill thought that he was going to end up in Philly the whole year.
They played in Cleveland together.
They played in San Antonio.
Cleveland. Cleveland. I thought it was Cleveland.
Danny,
you might be right.
A Cavalier, bro. He was a
all right, bro.
Right, tell me on this one.
All right, so
I read the article, right?
All right, cool. Wait, you can read. We get it. God. So real quick.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
So real quick, the cool part about the Sixers only not having many losses is I can go through and I can figure out which games it was. And I was right. It is not Cleveland that they lost with their starting five because Korkmaz started that game. And the other game I thought it was Brooklyn. Shake Milton started that game. So the games they lost to with their starting five was to the Phoenix Suns, a very good team, and the Toronto Raptors, a very not so good team.
That's who it was.
That is their only two with their starting five, with their full starting five in the lineup.
We didn't lose to Cleveland. No. We haven't beaten Cleveland this year. We lost
Cleveland, what's up?
Curry was out, wasn't he?
I doesn't. Korkmaz was in the lineup.
Curry was out with the COVID, wasn't he?
I guess guys saw.
No, the second time, like because we lost it. We haven't beat Cleveland.
But both times he wasn't. Both times. Well, I think both times Korkmaz was in the lineup as the starter. From what I remember, just looking at. So
right. I think you're right. But anyway, I knew the point I was trying to make is I knew it wasn't. Yeah, that was the point I was trying to make. So we'll be labeled homers, whatever. But until someone brings some facts, that's that. And just going back to the Milwaukee thing, that matchup is just a tough matchup. I think they match up well with the Sixers. Just they kind of play the same style, right? Coach, and they've been together for a little bit too. So that's why that. But do I think they can? Do I think that we won't have? No, I don't think that at all. But that matchup is like the one that's like okay, like I don't know. Brooklyn does not scare me whatsoever. I don't know why, but that matchup does not bother me whatsoever. Celtics don't bother me. No one really bothers me, but it's just that Milwaukee. I just think they play the same style. They're well coached and they've been together for a little bit. That's why I said them. But anyway,
George Hill did. Hold on, George Hill did play on Cleveland, 2017 and 2018. He was a Cleveland Cavalier.
Yeah, George Hill played on Cleveland. But Green wasn't on Cleveland.
Yes, he was.
Never a Cavalier.
Yes, he was.
Antonio.
Danny Green was a Cavalier. It was a Cavalier very early.
Cavalier, bro.
Very early in his career, 2009, 2010. You want to hear? Look, here you go.
Oh.
I can't let it focus for you.
I can't see.
Hold on.
He never played a game in Cleveland. Stop.
Yes, he did.
He played. I take your word for it. I can't.
He played 20 games in 2009 and 3 games in 2010. What's up?
How many games?
He played
7 games.
20. He played 20 games in 2009 and three games in 2010. Then he got traded to the Spurs in 2010. But he was a Cleveland Cavalier. I was correct about that. Yes. So I was correct about that. He was a Cavalier. So eat it. Okay. I was right. I knew they both played for the Cavs. I'm happy now. Proceed.
Not at the same time.
I didn't know that. I wasn't sure about that part. I just knew they were both. I knew they both played for Cleveland.
Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that they played together in San Antonio. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Proceed. I'm done now.
What year? No, hold on. What year did you say he got to San Antonio?
2010. 2010.
Yeah. And that's when they became good friends. Because then that's what it said. Because he said his first year in San Antonio was when they connected, and they've been friends ever since. Yeah, Arkansas beat Oral Roberts, man. They hit a shot with 2 seconds left. 72-7. Yeah, it don't matter. It all counts. They were down by 12 points. It's a big win on to the Elite Eight. SEC lives. Talk about the West, right? I don't think that your guy, State Farm, is getting enough for the MVP competition. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna drop hints. I'm just gonna keep it moving. Where they making moves at the deadline, they're currently like number 2 or number 3 in the West right now. He's not getting a lot of love, but I like what the Denver Nuggets did at the. I like the pickup of Aaron Gordon with them. I'd much rather see him out west than in the east. Because those guys like Jamal Murray is just, but everybody that plays in Kentucky is a star. That's what we were told, right? Anyway,
so
I digress.
I hate that. I hate that
Jamal
trade.
Murray is not.
I hate that trade. I hate it. The Aaron Gordon.
Why do you hate that trade?
Aaron Gordon doesn't fit there. Aaron Gordon can't shoot because Aaron Gordon's gonna have to play a style of basketball that he's not used to playing. George Jokic demands to stay in the low post. Aaron Gordon and Jokic. He can't shoot. I'm sorry. Like, let's be real. Aaron Gordon's not a good shooter. He has an ugly shot. It's ugly form. You want to know where Aaron Gordon has a good shot? Let's be real. The only place I've ever seen Aaron Gordon be able to shoot the ball well is in Uncle Drew. That's the only time I've seen Aaron Gordon be able to shoot the ball well. So I'm not going to sit like, no, I hated that trade for them. They were better before the trade.
You wrong for that.
I can't do no. The thing is, like, I want to be joking right now, but I'm not. Like, he can't shoot, and he's gonna be put into a position to where he can't play the way that he's best.
But he plays D, right? D. We all know Michael Porter Jr. can't play D, right? Or doesn't play D. So, I listen. I think that's a good move. I think Norman Powell going to Portland is a good move. I mean, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to get Portland to the upper unless they got a game 7 for somebody and it's 2 seconds on the clock and Dame has the ball. Then it's a bucket.
Dame time.
But, the Dame time. The West is kind of open right now, man. I don't trust Utah at all to do anything significant. I like the way they play. I like the way they're. Well, and see, you took the words right out of my mouth. What I was getting ready to say to you, they're a bunch of babies, though. They're a bunch of crybabies. And I was never a big Donovan Mitchell fan anyway, because he always cried about not winning Rookie of the Year. When you just carry yourself like that, there's something about you. I don't mind his talent, but watching him play that game in Philly and then watching him implode like that, and then the things that he said after the game, it's kind of like, wow. Like you guys think you've arrived and you haven't. That's why Shaq called him out on TNT. Listen.
Well, let's not forget they're a year removed from Donovan Mitchell saying that he doesn't think his relationship can be repaired with Gobert. Proceed.
Right. So you're good. They just got. They just don't have the it factor. They don't have. I don't know how to explain it to you. They could be a good Dan Marino. They could go out and they could put up the best record in the West. But does anybody really fear them come playoff time? Last year they got beat by them. Hey, well, that's a great analogy, man.
It is, man.
It's kind of like listen, watch this. I told you every week I'm going to get this. It's like you could be out there, you could be getting those eliminations, and you could be running through and making the storm circle and get down to that Final Four and get that build put up, and you still get taken out by for 136. Got him. Told you every week I'm getting it in. So that's what they can be, right? They can be out there they could be starting out really, really tough, squadding up and going and knocking everybody out, and then come playoff time, I think that mentality that they have or don't have is going to shrink. You know, the one thing that's true in the NBA today, as it was back in early 2000s, the early 90s, and the early 80s, there's a big difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball. Big difference. Big difference. That has never changed in the NBA. You could be a great regular season team, and then when it comes time to playoff time, when the bench shrinks, when the microscope gets a little bit bigger on you, and the stage gets bigger in the attention, we'll see who folds, and I just see them folding. Because people have been asking that all year already. Like, do you consider them a threat to the title? And I think only people that live in Utah think that. We have a couple people in there that live out that way that are really high on them. But I just don't see. But I just don't know who can come out of the West. And it's funny because when we have these conversations, it's always the West is so strong. We're not hearing that so much, right? Where's everybody at with that, right? Where's everybody at this year with that, right? The West is so strong, right? LeBron wants to see West is strong. Look, he's a reigning NBA champ, right? Now everybody's going to the East, right? But it can't be because he's in the West. It just can't be. But
it's funny.
Who do you like coming out of the West right now?
If you're gonna, do you have a coin on you?
Right now.
Yeah,
who do you like?
I'm asking you. Do you have a coin on you? I need you to put these two teams on the coin for me, right? You're gonna put Phoenix on.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna put Phoenix on heads, and you're gonna put the Lakers on tails. And that's why I like coming out the East, or coming out the West. And I want to real quick, like when you were talking about playoff basketball. Playoff basketball is the one thing in the world that hasn't changed. Playoff basketball is still, the game gets slower. It's a half court game, and defense always wins out. That hasn't changed in the NBA. So everybody complains about these high scoring games that we have in the NBA. Then once the playoffs comes, everything changes. The teams that play the best defense and have the best half-court games usually come out being the winners of every single game. And CP3, oh, there you go. We got Cliff, right? Uncle Cliff. Uncle Cliff, man, you gotta love him. And no, it's funny because how much did I hype him up last year? How many times on this show was I hyping this dude up, saying I was giving this dude all the credit in the world, and nobody wanted to believe me. And I'm sitting there saying there's only one real person that I think should win MVP last year. Look what he did with OKC last year. He resurrected a team. Look at OKC this year. Look what happened when he left. Yeah, it's funny. Shea Gilgeous ain't looking so good anymore, is he? That Shea Gilgeous ain't no MVP no more, is he? Or so All-Star anymore, is he? Stop sleeping on this man. Everybody wants to pretend like this man is a cancer when realistically he's the solution. He makes teams better because he's such a smart, intelligent, good basketball player. Right now, if he were to end his career today, you would have a very hard time not convincing me that he's not on the Mount Rushmore point guards.
I think that's fair. I think he's.
I have three. I have three in my head that I can. I have three in my head that I have three in my head that are over him, and then he's right there at 4. I got Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, and then he's right there. That's him. He's that 4th spot.
Yeah, if you have John Stockton there, then you absolutely have to have CP3 there, right? Because they're almost like the identical player, right?
Chris Paul is a
a
way better defender.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So look, that was good stuff right there, going through the NBA, and we had another season kickoff in the other major sport, NFL free agents,
Ooh.
and I'm going to ask you one question, and I'm going to put you right on the spot, and I want you to think about it before you give me an answer, because I haven't prepped you for this question. So the question I have for you is, what is the one move or signing that you absolutely like?
What was the one mover signing that I absolutely loved?
Doesn't have to be for your team. Doesn't have to be for your team.
Well, hold on.
I won't say love, because I don't know if there's
My
any
team.
out there
Hold
that you love.
My team only signed one player. I couldn't love or hate anything my team did. We only signed, two guys. We don't have money to sign anybody. They're looking to play me. My team's looking to play me next year.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't think I
Fair
have put
enough.
zero thought in
But
this.
go to the ones that you know. Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to give you the question.
All right. All right, I got it.
So
I got it.
So if you think about it, I'll give you one. All right, go ahead.
I think I got it. And I'm gonna say it.
You don't have.
I'm saying it. I know. I swear to God, I do. I swear to God, I do. I'm saying this out of pure pettiness, and that is it. I'm so happy that the Washington football team signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he will be the starting quarterback for them next year. There is nothing in my soul that makes me happier to know they have to put up with up and down Fitzmagic for the entire year. Okay, that makes me overzealous.
Yeah.
That, and I got a question because I haven't been keeping up with this as much as I should. Has Cleveland signed Clowney yet?
No, they haven't. And I don't think
so hold up. Okay, because I'm going to put Cleveland on the spot right now, and I'm going to steal something off of an analyst that I heard say it, and I agree with them 1,000%. If they sign Clowney, Cleveland will have the most stacked team in the NFL, and you can fight me on this if you want, and I will shut you down immediately. But I think Cleveland will have probably the most stacked roster in the NFL, and if they do not win, and they do not win next year, Baker Mayfield needs to go because he's clearly the problem.
Okay, so we went from Clowney making the difference between. So Cleveland doesn't have a stacked team right now. It's only if they sign Clowney.
They have a stacked team. They have an extremely stacked team. But if they get Clowney too, I was like, dude, that's ridiculous. Like the amount of the pass rushers alone on that team. You have Olivier Vernon, Clowney, and Myles Garrett.
Not there.
That's just pass rushers.
Olivier Vernon is not there. He's a free agent.
I thought they signed Vernon.
They did not. He's a free agent.
Are you sure
about that? Underwhelmed. They signed somebody else though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought they signed Olivier Vernon. That's the only reason I said his name, obviously.
Nah, I don't think they did. I don't think they brought him back. I think he's a free agent. I think he might be one of them cap casualties. Yeah. See, and there you go. Chuck Thomas, I can't disagree with you there. Bucks brought back all 22 starters. Tampa Bay brought back all 22 starters.
Oh, but I'm not. But Tampa Bay. What team is Tampa Bay? Where does Tampa Bay play in the AFC or the NFC?
You didn't say the AFC. You said,
bro.
Maybe you meant to say AFC. But say that. You say Cleveland will have the most active team. That's what you said.
And by the way, Olivier Vernon plays
for
the
AFC. I mean, because it's a different conversation.
Olivier Vernon plays for the Cleveland Browns.
I think he's a free agent, man. I think he got cut. I'm telling you. I think because I saw he was one of the names out there. I thought he was under contract too for like a couple more years. I thought he had
a defensive end who is a free agent.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he is a free agent. It's weird because Wiki says he's a free agent, but then it says current teams is Cleveland Browns. This is very.
He could be like one of those June 1st cuts or something like that.
Maybe.
My favorite signing is the Bears signing Andy Dalton, the QB.
See, he's a free agent. He's stealing my city there. He's stealing my penny. See, my guy. Listen, when your team sucks, what I've come to realize that the NFL is, I mean, me in particular, and apparently with whoever said that the Andy Dalton sucks is the Andy Dalton one is too, is that when your team sucks, you just look to be petty. So when you see your rival teams do bad signings, you sit back and laugh. Like Washington signing Adam Humphries and Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then certain fans touting it is hysterical to me. That's what you're excited about? Adam Humphries and Ryan Fitzpatrick? That makes you happy? Yeah. I guess less is more.
So that's funny because I think that so because I'm with you. I jumped up and down and I saw Fitzpatrick go to Washington. I'm like, that is great. That is
awesome.
You and QB purgatory for a couple more years. Awesome. And the Giants go out Dory Jackson for $339 your money. They go out, they got a day. All great. Go out and spend your money. But yet, the people want to talk about the Giants making all these great moves. So now, the move that I like
besides the obvious
move that I like so far. One of the ones I was the signing you guys did. Getting Anthony Harris at $5 million for 1 year was a great deal because I wanted him to be in Dallas so bad. He's probably the best safety. I thought that was a great deal. There's a couple other ones that I like too. I like Malcolm Butler going to Arizona for 1 year on $6 million.
Yeah,
I like the fact that Tampa Bay was everybody bring. I like the fact that Tampa Bay was able to bring everybody back because that doesn't happen, right? I could give two shits about what they do, right? But I think that's significant in this day and age that they're able to bring everybody back. There's some that puzzle me, not as far as dollars and cents, but just like fit, right? Mitchell Trubisky going to Buffalo, that kind of puzzled me a little bit. Joe Flacco coming back home to Philly. That would have made sense than it is now at this point. But I've always been a Flacco fan, small guy. So you know how I feel about those kind of guys.
Can you explain to me why the Saints
going back to Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, he said Philly was his second choice too, which kind of was irritating to find out that it was between Pittsburgh and Philly, and he didn't want to come here because we suck. Well, I can't really be mad at him for that. But can you? I need you to explain something to me because I didn't even know this happened. When the hell did the Saints sign Taysom Hill to like a 4-year, $120 million contract, or whatever the hell it is, that they had to restructure it so they could free up money?
Last year.
Who the hell is sitting back
and
watched Taysom Hill play it all and go, man, that running back's going to make a great quarterback someday. Let's overpay him and completely strap us of cash for the next 5 years. That's a great idea. Go Saints. I was dumbfounded by that.
No, so let's go back. Let's go back to that, right? Because we talked about this last year, and you must have forgot. Because we said that we were like, why would the Saints give him all that money? And he's the backup. Then all of a sudden they played him. They're like, well, why do you have Jameis? And then you come back and re-sign Jameis, right? So my question is this: like, you don't give a utility player who's not really great at one thing, who does some things well, right? He's a modern day Tim Tebow that bought into playing different positions. Like, if Tim Tebow would have played different positions, he would have been Taysom Hill before Taysom Hill, right? Just like all these other guys that like play with their Cordell Stewart. Like, come on, right? I mean, this is not something new. But anyway, starting quarterback for the Saints, and who receives stolen property that's a loaded gun? Oh, I'm just saying, Marshall Lattimore. Come on. You saw that, right? Got arrested, right? Got a felony. Trubisky went to Buffalo, learned under Buffalo's OC, who was helped develop John. And if he becomes head coach, he could take Trubisky with him. So I have a question on that. How does one develop when you don't play? So if he goes to Buffalo and sits for a year, how does he develop, and how does that offensive coordinator get a head coaching job and then say, "Oh, I watched Mitchell Trubisky practice all year, that I'm gonna stake my first head coaching job as him being my starting quarterback."
I got
Now,
another
Chuck,
question on top of
I'm
that.
not disputing. I'm not disputing that that's what was said. Well, I'm gonna have to invite you on next week to talk about that, or we're gonna have to come on your show because I just have a problem with that line of thinking, right? Like, how can one develop someone just by practicing? But I get it. But I get it. Okay, preseason and practice. Okay, but
I got a
Chuck,
follow-up
let's
question
look
on
at
your
it like
topic.
this. Okay, I'm just gonna repeat my question, right?
Go ahead.
Would you want to stake your first head coaching job on Mitchell Trubisky as your starting quarterback?
Ooh. Well, hold on. Hold on. I can I answer that and ask a question? Okay. So here, I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna ask my question in the same breath. If I am going to, let's say, the New York Jets.
Hold on, wait, 1 second. 1 second, Sean. Wait 1 second. Mm-hmm.
Can I go now?
Hey, Sean.
Oh, I can go now. Okay. So what I'm saying is,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did cut you off.
Okay. So
Yeah, but
So what I'm saying is, if I'm going to, let's just say, the New York Jets, right, and I know I'm going to have the number 1 pick next year or a top 5 pick, right? Why would I not want Mitchell Trubisky as a starter quarterback for the quarterback that I draft, which will be my future quarterback? Understand what I'm saying? So I'll bring Mitchell Trubisky over with me, and I'm still drafting a quarterback to be in Trubisky's ass the entire time. So it's a win-win for me. If Trubisky fails, I'll still have his replacement right behind me that's my guy that I wanted as well. So I have 2 of my own guys that I handpicked to choose from on who I think should play. So I understand the line of thinking, and that's the way I would go if I believed in the backup enough. But here's the other question I have. Now, this is the one I have ultimately is, Josh Allen's due for a contract. Does Josh Allen sign an extension before the season starts? Or does Josh Allen risk playing bad this year and not get the extension he wants?
this is his 3rd year, right?
I think this is his 4th year.
No, it's just his 4th.
I'm pretty sure this is his 4th year because him and Baker came out the same time and they're both owed.
And Baker and Lamar, they all came out the same time.
And all 3 of them are owed.
Yeah, they're all owed. So I think they're going into their 4th year. So they have the 5th years. They have their 5th years guaranteed. So I don't think Cleveland picked up Baker's 5th year yet. Baltimore will pick up Lamar's, and Buffalo will pick up Josh's if they haven't already. No, I don't think he gets a contract extension this season, and I don't think it really matters how it plays this year. Like, he would have to really stink it up, but he's in a good situation. He's got a good offense. He's got a good defense. You know, they just need to get that kid a running back. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm looking at this right now.
Here's the thing is, if they're in their 4th year, but if they pick up next year, they're paying him $23 million, which is cheap nowadays for quarterback.
That's cheap for a quarterback. $23 million is going to be cheaper than be over 40. So he's not signing. He's not. I'll put it. The point I was trying to make is this: I don't think he signs his deal before Lamar Jackson signs his. Is where I'm going with that.
I disagree. I think the opposite will happen.
No, I don't, because I don't think that Josh Allen's going to make less than Lamar. And Baltimore is already working on Lamar Jackson's extension.
I think the opposite. I think Josh Allen will make less than Lamar.
No way.
Well,
no way.
All right. Well, this is going to be my last question I got for you. Who, in your eyes, as you watch the game, is Lamar Jackson worth more than Josh Allen? So you think Josh Allen's the better quarterback?
Do I think he's the better quarterback? It's a great question because I'm high on Josh Allen.
That's why I'm asking the
I live
question.
here in Baltimore, so yeah. Yes, Josh Allen's the better quarterback.
Okay, so then I agree.
Because Josh Allen,
then where your head is, I agree.
Do.
If you believe Josh Allen's better than Lamar Jackson, then I agree with you.
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna say, and this is where I'm coming from, right? On this, he just beat Lamar game, right? So that comes into play, right? Head to head, he beat him, right? I think when this is the tough part, right? Because Lamar Jackson gets labeled a running back, which we all know he's not, right? Till Baltimore get Jackson, look at throw the ball. We don't know what he can do throwing on the NFL level, right? So I have to take this into account. Why Josh Allen can run like Lamar Jackson. Now he might not be as fast, he might not carry the ball 30 times, but he is a running quarterback as well. So we can't say that Lamar can throw the ball as well as Josh Allen. So that's where the difference comes in. But I'll say this to you like this, right? And you know me, I always think situation dictates who might be better, right? These guys are where they're supposed to be, right?
Well, they're both in good situations.
You're not going to put another quarterback. Correct. You're not going to put another quarterback in Baltimore and get the same success. And I don't know if you could put another quarterback in Buffalo and get the same success because they have tailored their systems and their offense to allow these guys to shine, right? So that comes a lot into it, right? So I just want to get back to this Mitchell Trubisky thing, right? I think it's a good pickup for the Bills. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
I just want to add. I'm good. I just want to add one more thing to this, then you can go off. Now, Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick in that draft, right? And Lamar Jackson was the 32nd pick in that draft, and Josh Allen was the 6th or the 5th, one of the two. Baker. This is how I said that. I already said earlier that Josh Allen's 5th year, if they pick it up, is going to be $23 million. Lamar Jackson's will also be $23 million if the Ravens pick it up. Explain to me how the number 1 pick in the draft, his 5th year contract at the round, so decide to pick it up, is going to be $18.858 million. How does that make sense?
Because he got more up front.
No,
more on the first 4 years.
He did not.
Yes, he did.
I'm going to take a look at
They're
this
all
guy.
slotted in now. Remember, they're all slotted in now. Remember, that's why these guys can't negotiate their contracts like they used to. Remember, I think who was it, man? Wasn't it? I want to say it was Sam Bradford. But I forget what quarterback it was that came out. They got drafted number 1 and got all that money. And like after that year, it's like when they all went nuts and they changed it. See, it's it. He got money up front. I'm telling you, Baker got his money up front. So he got more. Yeah, because like because remember, Sean, now when you get picked, you slide in, and it's pretty much.
Yeah. That's right. The
language in the 4th to 5th year. So like that's the big thing, right? Because Ball could have waited and maybe taken Lamar in the 2nd, then he wouldn't have been guaranteed the 5th year. Remember, only first round picks get the 5th year.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference comes in. Yeah. So like Baker got yeah, man. But so the NFL free agency has been good. I think a lot of teams are making some good signings. I don't think there's a lot of crazy overpays like we usually see. Like this. Average players get paid good money. Good players get paid great money, right? In NFL free agency. So the one thing that I wanted to say to you, and then we'll get on out of here. See, there's a lot of 1-year deals, right?
Yeah.
You don't see hardly anybody getting 2 big deals, right?
They all know the CBA is going. They all know the CBA is going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, they all know that
the
CBA
and that TV money's coming. That's basically
that's all coming next year. So they know to wait.
So that's another reason why I think that Josh Allen won't sign this offseason. Now he could, they could push it up and know that's coming because it's best signing was probably Jim Nance. Chuck Thomas crazy as hell. That's Daisy. Oh man, that's crazy, man. But listen, it's been good, and we didn't even get to the pedophile or the serial massage guy, right? Whatever you want to dub him. You know what I mean? We didn't even get to that.
Hold on, whoa! Allegedly, we got to make sure we're putting that allegedly.
16. So, that young man and everybody involved, because 1, 2, all right. When you start getting in the double digits, you get up there and Bill Cosby. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's the American way. We are innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. So we will say allegedly.
I just said I hope it works out for everybody involved. You know,
okay.
I'm gonna take. So what I'm gonna do, right? To be fair, I'm gonna take the approach with him that I took with my own running back. Remember, I didn't talk about it, right? So I'm just gonna leave it there until it all settles, because there's a there's a victim or victim somewhere. So we just gotta let it play out the way that it is. But regardless, he's taking a hit. He's taking a hit personally, professionally, and financially. And you know, we were discussing this as a group about how teams want to trade for him, and I was like, nah, nobody trading for him. And look what happened. You saw all these deals go down yesterday, right? 49ers moved up to get a quarterback. Philadelphia moved back, right? Because they couldn't get the 3 quarterback, right? All those deals out yesterday would have been deals that would have happened to get DeShaun Watson, right? I'm just saying. Happy ending. Thomas ain't right, bro. You see that?
And on that note, you know,
on that note, we out.
On that note,
we out.
Hate to be the bearer of news.
I'm cleaning it up right now.
Chuck, thank you for ending the show. We'll
be back next week. No, we won't. No, we won't. We will not be back next week. It is Easter weekend. We will not be here.
I will be working.
So we will see you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll be. Oh my God. Brooklyn bought me championship nuts. Can't buy me love. Houston gonna run Syracuse out the gym tonight, I believe. All right, man. You staying up and watching that Sixer Clipper game? It's about to tip off. If it didn't already.
No. I'm out on West Coast games. I boycott West Coast games. So we are more popular than the West Coast. They need to play on our time. I don't care how early it is for them. They need to play on our time. This is ridiculous. It's easier to wake up early than it is to stay up late.
I understand. I can appreciate that. All right, man. Well, thank you all in with us and hanging out with us. We appreciate the love. Just a reminder, you can always find us in our own group on Facebook, our YouTube channel. You like the hat I'm rocking, you can get that on Squad Locker. We got a couple of hats, we got some shirts, we got some sweatshirts out there. We want to wish everybody a good, wish y'all to stay safe. Since we won't see you next week, happy Friday, happy Easter. Maybe you hide all the good stuff for your kids and give them the best they can, especially in these times. Do your part to stay safe. Right? Do your part to make this country even better than what it already is. Yes, sir. Let's get up on out of here, man. Week 16 and week 8 coming down. Houston's up 10-2 on Syracuse. Mm-hmm. Oh man, come on, Taz, man. You're such a prima donna. Why you always take so long to come up with the songs, bro? It's in a live concert. I mean, come on already. This guy, he likes to have his big introduction. You know what I mean?
Hate to be the bear bad news, but the show's over. Hope you enjoyed it. We can see We can go back and forth all day long. Shout out Serena Williams. Ain't another place to hold it down like the way that we hold it down. Won't hesitate to bet my last song that you ain't know it then, bet you know it now. Pat and Sean with the dynamic duo, one of the best show around. But 360 windmill, Vince Carter when we put it down. You're now rocking with the major leagues. Show be hitting like Mike Trout. These other guys try and ride the wave, but not the day they get wiped out. Cause we on a whole nother level than them. They follow the trends, we the one that set them. Later smacked them like Stone Cold, and that's the bottom line until we stunning something. These lame stations ain't saying nothing. They just talk to hear their voice or something. No better place to come vibe out the Hot Spot Sports Show. Keep that heat coming like Palomalo in the backfield. Relax, chill, everything covered. When we move full head of steam, please off the track when the train coming. Wanna thank y'all for tuning in. A good time, what it's all about. Hope to catch y'all here next week. Same time when we zoning out. And we encourage you to call. The opinionated, bring it on. Just make sure that you're ill prepared and come hard and not at all. Verbal warfare, talking sports here. Ding ding, let's get it on. And unless you stay in stats, you ain't saying jack, keep calm and carry on. 24 in that jersey. Feeling something like Kobe with a few seconds on that game. L tuba hooper. Competition. It's sick to see us winning. Black Mamba mentality. See a bit of me and go get it. Get it. You already know how we do, man. Hey, yo, Sean, what up?
What up?
Hey, yo, Pat.
What up, Taz?
Want to thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Thank you for tuning in.
Hodge Podge Sports Show, baby.
We out. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. See ya.